I want to welcome you guys to R-BoP. This is Riddick's Book of Philosophy. My name's Philip Riddick, and this is where I talk about what I want to talk about the way I want to talk about it. If you enjoy this podcast, tell your friends, family, and loved ones to come in and enjoy my whimsical way of saying things, doing things, and thinking about things.
Please hold for a very important message.
Hey everybody, sooner or later you're going to have to travel. You're going to have to take a plane, a hotel, or rent a car or something, either because you want to go on a vacation, something that you were waiting for or really wanted to do, or sometimes we have some unfortunate circumstances in our families where we have to travel involuntarily. Either way or the other, if you need to travel, you want to save some money. I am an independent TSA, Travel Savings Ambassador for iBoomerang. And I can save you 30 to 70% on your travel if you send me your first and last name to the following email address, dcboomgetaways@gmail.com. Once again, dcboom, B-U-U-M, getaways@gmail.com. I can send you an absolutely free website, yours personally, that you can use whenever you want, and it will save you money. It can save you money whenever you are going away. You might be going away now. You might be going away in the future. This website is yours forever. So once again, if you want to save money traveling 30 to 70%, shoot your first and last name to me at dcboom, B-U-U-M, getaways@gmail.com. All right. All right, guys, put your hands together. This is something I wanted to talk about. By the way, my name's Phil. I'm the hostess with the mostest. I'm going to jump right into this, guys. If you haven't been paying attention to the stock market, the GameStop thingy, guys, if you haven't been paying attention to this, I'm going to do my best to try to explain what's going on. I'm trying to explain why this is so significant and why, if you can, you might want to get involved. All right. Hey, Gene, what's going on? How you doing? I'm going to go all the way back to last week. It was last week. Actually, I'm going to go all the way back to last year. Last year, GameStop, and I'm not a financial advisor, and my numbers might not be 100% correct, so I'm going to be careful about how I say this. But last year, GameStop was going for about $2 and some change per share. All right, $2 and blah, blah, blah. All right. Same thing with AMC. I'll talk about AMC coming up here after that. AMC is the movie theater people. They were about $2 a share and some change last year as well. But anyway, back to GameStop. Right now, GameStop is going for about $325 a share. Now, 2 weeks ago, it was below $20. All right. And this is not because of an accident. This is because of leverage. The little guys have been kicking the big guys on Wall Street in the balls. Okay. There's this subreddit called Wall Street Bets. It's just them. Inside of that Wall Street Bets, last time I looked, there was 6.5 million people in that forum. All right, just listening and talking and, asking questions and stuff, like cracking jokes and stuff like that. All right. So these folks decided that they wanted to take matters into their own hands. I'll put it that way. Okay, so in order for me to try to explain this, I need to explain what the big hedge funds are doing. The hedge fund folks, and don't quote me on this, but it's about 90% true. The hedge fund folks have billions of dollars. Billions of dollars. That's right, Gene. Classic David and Goliath. A bunch of Davids. But they have billions of dollars to leverage. Okay. And when they put those billions of dollars to work, those billions of dollars can obviously say something. Let me turn that ticker off. Now, if you have 6.5 million people in a forum, and some people have more money than others, some people might have a couple $100 to invest. Some of them might have thousands of dollars to invest. But I'm just going to throw, let's say, hey, what's going on? What's going on? Let's say that on an average, 6.5 million people have $1,000 to invest. All right. That's $6.5 billion of leverage. Whereas these hedge funds have billions as well. So now for me to try to explain this a little bit better, I need to explain what a short sell is, and then we'll talk about a short squeeze. All right. And once again, I'm not a financial advisor. I just started finding out about this, and I'm trying to capitalize on it a couple days back. A short sell is when you get one of these hedge funds, or you get a person or organization, an entity, to go to one of these brokerage firms, and they say, hey, I want to borrow some stock. So I'm gonna keep these numbers small for math purposes. All right. Now we're talking millions and millions, but we're gonna keep it small. I want to borrow 100 shares. In this case, it'll be 100 million, but we want to borrow 100 shares from you, and I'll give you back those 100 shares in a whatever amount of time with some interest. All right. So they get the stock for free on a loan. So they take those 100 shares and they sell them at whatever price. All right, let's say they sell them at 100 shares at $100 a share. Let's go with that. Okay. So right now, no matter what happens, they're not going to owe any money. All they have to do is return those 100 shares. That's what the loan was, the shares. So they get these shares, they sell them for $100 a share. Okay. So now they got $1,000. And then they wait. They wait for the stock market to drop. And what they do is they target the businesses that they think are going to fail. In this case, it's GameStop. Okay. So they buy them at $100 a share. Because of the business model or things change, the stock drops down to $50 a share. So they'll take that $1,000 that they had and they'll buy twice as much, right? They'll buy 200 shares because they can buy twice as much of the stock now. And then they give that stock back to fulfill their loan, and then they keep the profit. You see how that works? They keep the money and the other stock. They give back the stock that they borrowed, and then they can keep doing it and keep doing it. And as long as the price goes down until the company goes bust, they can make money on the downward trend. I hope that made sense. That's a short sell. Now, in GameStop's situation, they short sold it so much because they just thought that the business model was going to crash. Let's talk about GameStop real quick. The business model for GameStop is to go to the mall. I know you guys seen GameStop stores. I'm pretty sure you have anyway. You go to the mall, you buy a game, you play it until you beat it or get tired of it. You take the game back to GameStop. They'll buy it back from you, and you're good to go. You keep doing that. Or you can buy consoles and stuff like that. Now, the first problem with GameStop, why they were counting on it to fail, is because of the pandemic. People are staying in. They're not going to malls to pick up games. That's the first problem why they were betting against GameStop. The second reason they were betting against GameStop is because more and more, you can go to Microsoft, you can go to Sony, you can go to freaking any of these game consoles, and you can pay for and download the game straight to your computer or straight to your consoles now. So the GameStop concept was old. The only way they were going to be able to fix GameStop is if they reinvent the company. So some of these big hedge funds were short selling it, driving the price down, hoping that it was going to collapse. Now, this is what happened. Then comes the short squeeze. The short squeeze is those 6.5 million people that I talked about that were talking together on Reddit. A lot of them were gamers. They're like, no, we don't want to lose GameStop. We don't want that company to go down. As well as some very smart marketing people realized that it was being short sold, trying to be driven out of the company. Trying to get driven out of business. So what they did, those 6 point blah, blah, blah million people started buying the stock. Buy. They started buying GameStop, and they were not selling it. They were buying it and they were hanging on to it. Okay. So the billionaire hedge fund people had a certain cap. All right. Let's say it had to be above $15. It had to be below $15. Drive it down below $15 for them to be able to make a profit and be able to fulfill their debt and give back that stock without taking a loss. Now, these 6.5 million people from Reddit decided that they're going to start buying that stock. So they leveraged those billions of dollars from a shitload of little people, and they started buying the stock. They bought the stock and raised it to a point where it was higher than what the big boys needed. So they took a massive loss. But they still have to pay back those stocks that they borrowed. Not money, stocks. But since it ended up higher than they wanted, they had to go back and buy those stocks higher than they expected so that they could fulfill their freaking obligation to give those stocks back. So now, what happens? You got a bunch of little people, couple million little people like me buying the stock, makes the stock price go up a little bit. The hedge fund billionaires start selling their stock because they don't want to take a loss to try to drive the price back down. But the little guys kept buying and holding, drove the price up. So now at close of business on that Friday, that Monday, they have to go in and buy that stock to fulfill their obligations. You with me? So the billionaires have to buy the stock at a higher price. Ding, 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 ding. Price goes up. The little guys who already have the stock aren't selling. Okay, because if you buy up all the stock, who are the big guys going to have to buy that stock from? The little guys who own it now. But then if you look at the stock market, traditionally the way it works, you buy low, sell high. So now everybody else starts seeing GameStop prices going up. So they start buying, buy low, sell high. And it starts a buying frenzy. The hedge fund people have to buy to fulfill. Everybody else sees the price going up, so they buy low. That makes the price drive up. And like I said at the beginning of this, GameStop last year was $2 and some change a share. A couple of weeks ago, it was below $20. If you look at it right now, it's $300 and some change a share. So if you had 100 shares of GameStop and you bought it at $2 a share and you sell it right now, you done made yourself about freaking $32,000. You feeling me? There was this little boy, a 10-year-old young man, someone gifted him $60 worth of GameStop shares, and he sold it for $3,200. All right, folks, that's what's going on right now. I hope I explained it right. That's what's going on right now. As of last Friday, they're doing the same thing with AMC. All right, AMC, the movie theater people. All right, not to get into my business, but I just so happened to have bought a certain number of stock of AMC last year at $2 and some change. Last Friday, this same group on Reddit were like, we're going to short squeeze freaking AMC because they were doing the same thing with AMC. It's a movie theater company. Pandemic, people aren't going to the movie theater. Business is going down. They think they're going to drive it out of business, so they started short selling it. Borrowing some stock from AMC, sell it at a price. Stock started to plummet. They bought more of it, gave the stock back, made money. As the price drops, they continue and repeat. As of Friday, they needed the stock to be below $9. So I was on Reddit, that subreddit with everybody else, and I started buying some of that stock. I already had some. I bought some more. At closing bell, Friday, close of business, it was at $13 a share. That means it was higher than the hedge funds needed. So now they're estimating, well, let me back up. Keep in mind, I already bought a buttload of this stuff at $2 a share. So I'm already chilling. I bought it at $2 and it's going for $13 right now. If you look at it, the stock market's closed, but it's at $13 a share now. I'm good. But because of the short squeeze they did on Friday, and it ended up higher than the $9 that they needed for their cutoff to fulfill their obligation, guess what's happening on Monday? Monday, the big boys got to buy a bunch of stock to pay off that freaking loan, not money, stock, but now it's higher than the $9 that they needed. They are estimating that AMC might possibly open between $20 and $40 a share, opening bell on Monday. All right. Then the big boys are going to have to buy at that price. That's going to drive the price up. Other people are going to see the price going up. They're going to buy. It has the potential, what I'm hearing, to go anywhere up to $50 a share to $1,000 a share. Don't know. We don't know. But the thing is, it's all based on how people act and react. I have a bunch of stock in that. And if it opens at $40 a share, it goes to $50 a share, that would really be tempting to sell. But if you sell at 50, let's go back to what GameStop did. GameStop peaked at $450 a share. You listen to me, folks. So I'm going to hold off. And then they have another deadline, according to the way I understand it, the following Friday, because they do have a certain, they meaning the hedge funds, the billionaires, they do have a certain amount of time before they have to call in that debt. Okay, so they're going to try to drive the price down. But if you got little guys like me, 6.5 million people like me that's bought the stock and just hanging on to it, it's going to drive the price up. I see Jean putting in some money right there. There you go. She putting in some numbers. All right, guys. That's what's happening right now. Next target, I believe, I'm just going to tell you some of the stocks that, and this ain't no secret. I want y'all to know because I want y'all to buy the shit. The more little people are buying the stock, the less freaking stock's going to be out there for the big boys, and they're going to have to freaking hedge their bet, and they're going to have to pay. All right? Or at least they won't get the money. We'll get the money. Right now, they're looking at Nokia. Right now, Nokia is $4 and some change a share. I already got me some. Okay, they're looking at Bed Bath & Beyond. I think that's at $35 a share. That's out of my price range right now. But if this thing goes boom this week with the freaking AMC, I'm going to have plenty of money to buy some Bed Bath & Beyond. Okay, BlackBerry is another one. All right, and America Airlines. America Airlines is right at $17 a share. An airline, folks, $17 a share right now. All I'm saying is, and once again, I'm not a freaking financial advisor. I'm telling you what I've heard, and I got some plans on what I'm going to do. So this is purely for entertainment purposes. That's my disclaimer. But it has the potential to turn over a freaking large chunk of change in a short period of time. All right. Right from the comfort of your home. Now, let's talk about another thing. I don't know if you've seen this in the news. There's this app called Robinhood. Robinhood is an app where you can trade stock for free. I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot freaking pole because this is what happened. Robinhood was letting people trade, but then once they started squeezing on GameStop, let's say you could buy 100 shares at a time. Then all of a sudden it went from, on Robinhood, this app, then you could only buy 10 shares at a time. Then it went down to 1 share at a time. Right now, AMC, which is the next target right now, on Robinhood, you can only buy 1 share at a time. Okay? They're saying it's because of some type of regulation or some type of rules. I'm saying bullshit. I think some of the big boys have something to do with Robinhood, and they're trying to keep people from buying as much. That's what they did to GameStop. They stopped people from buying it, and I think it was to help bail out the big boys. I don't know. I'm not psychic. That's just what I think. I have a Fidelity account. I'd recommend a Fidelity account. I'm not affiliated with them, and I don't freaking get paid from them or nothing. But when I decided to buy some stock, which I did yesterday, I got an order out right now. It will be fulfilled on opening bell. I got all the stock I wanted in one fell swoop. Whoosh. All right, folks. So the only reason I got on here was to spread the word. Get online, do some research, look up freaking Wall Street bets on Reddit. Look at some YouTube videos on what's going on right now. And like Gene said, it's classic David and Goliath right now. Classic. Now, they meaning some of the media folks were asking questions to the press secretary. I forget her name. I can't remember her name. She's got the red hair. Anyway, They were like, oh, well, based on what happened with GameStop, what's the Biden administration going to do? Is President Biden talking about it? And she's like, no, nothing. They ain't doing. She said they're worried about the economy, the pandemic, infrastructure, the stuff to get the country moving. You can't regulate 6.5 million people just for talking and coming up with an idea and doing it. It's not an organization. You can't regulate people for doing what people want to do. Right? You can regulate what happens in the stock market if you're a hedge fund. Thank you, Jen Psaki. Peace silent. You can regulate what those organizations can do, but you can't regulate 6.5 million people that just decide that we're going to do this together and it's a good idea. How can you regulate that? You can't. You can't. So I jumped on to talk about this. I thought it was important enough. I think it's valuable enough to try to put the word out. All right. Once again, GameStop already happened. AMC is happening now. You guys watch the stock market yourself. It's at $13 a share now. See what AMC opens up with tomorrow when the stock market opens. And if it's between 20 and 40 bucks, then I ain't lying to you. There you go. Do your own research. All right, guys. Now, the big boys are freaking mad about it. All right. The whole GameStop thing, you know how much the hedge fund lost just because a bunch of like-minded people decided to do something together? They lost $5 billion with a B, $5 billion. Because a bunch of people decided that they were going to spend their money in the same direction and coordinated on stock options. Now, you're manipulating the stock market if it's an organization, but what do you call it when it's just a bunch of people doing the same thing? Is it manipulation or is it just a smart move? I don't know. I don't know the answer on that. But yeah, once again, GameStop already happened. Unless you want to get in and buy it at $300 something a share and hope it goes up higher, my boat don't float that high. AMC right now is at $13 and some change. The market's closed, so you're gonna have to do some type of order. I forget what you call it. It's a purchase order, but since the market's closed, you're gonna have to wait until you put your order in now. And then when the market opens, then they'll fill your order. Okay. I did buy Nokia, like I said before. Right now it's at $4 and something a share. They're not targeting Nokia, but Nokia is one of the ones that they've mentioned. I'll go down the list again. Bed Bath & Beyond. Nokia, the symbol is NOK. Bed Bath & Beyond, the symbol is BBBY. BlackBerry, the symbol is BB. American Airlines, the symbol is AAL. And if you guys do some research, you can find some of these other stocks that are been heavily shorted. And the little guy is saying, no, big guys, you're not going to freaking keep all the money. We want some of that stuff too. There you go, guys. Any questions? I hope that came out right, guys. I hope that came out right. There you go, George. I'm glad you got that. I don't know about E-Trade. I don't know their trading their practices or anything else. I deal with Fidelity, been dealing with it for years. Yeah. There you go. Matter of fact, this was even a short podcast. Any questions? Because I'm getting ready to shut this down. Do me a favor, if you know someone that might be in the market to do something similar to this, refer them to this video. All right, it's on my R-BoP podcast on YouTube, and it's also on my Facebook. So obviously, you have to be a friend of mine to be on my Facebook, but send them to the R-BoP podcast. This should go up here. It should go up here pretty quick. I'll probably edit this and make it a regular podcast too. It's a short one. Gene, you use E-Trade. Is it that simple? You can do like do an order now, and then once the market opens, then you can it'll automatically fill that order. Is that how that works? That's how it works with Fidelity. You're welcome, George, and anybody else. Now's the time. Let's do some math real quick. If you have 500 shares that you bought, if you bought 500 shares, no, matter of fact, I do got my calculator right here. Let's do some quick math. If you had 500 shares, I know I got a calculator on here somewhere. There it is. 500 shares, and it goes to, let's say Monday, we say they're open between $20 and $40. So 500 shares times 30. Let's say it opens in the middle at $30 a share. You just made $15,000. You with me? 500 shares that you bought for 12, and it goes to $30 a share. You just made 15 grand. All right, 500 shares. And GameStop topped off at its highest at $450 per share. So we'll go if you got 500 shares and you sell at $450 a share, if it goes that high, that's $250,000. That's $225,000, guys. All right. Once again, Nokia is selling at $4 a share. If you got $4,000 in your pocket, and you happen to buy 1,000 shares of Nokia, and it sells for $325 a share, that's $325,000. It's easy. If you got the money to spare. Now, let me throw this out. If you are going to jump into this investment or this gamble or whatever it is, please, please, please only use funds that are fluid. Don't be throwing your life savings into this, because if something goes wrong, you're screwed. All right, guys, if you got a couple $100 or $1,000 here or there, or you want to buy 5, 10, 15 shares or whatever, and you make a little bit of money, that's cool. Don't go in whole hog with any money that you cannot afford to lose, because it is the stock market. That's all I want to say. Gene says yes, and set purchases and buy and sell at your set price. There you go. There you go. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say, guys. I hope this was valuable. Oh, you know what? Let me do I'm going to throw in my Instagram ad, just so I can get credit for it. So I'm going to pause for advertisement purposes. Here you go. I would like to talk to you about Instacart. What if I told you that you could have local fresh groceries delivered to your front door? You can have multiple deliveries for one small monthly fee. Unlike some other apps or services that want to nickel and dime you all the time. If you don't have that special item that you need to make a special recipe, Instacart in some cases can get that to your house in as fast as 1 hour. Hand selected by shoppers based on your preferences, Instacart highlights deals that can help save you money. You can find everything you normally buy, and they also suggest things that may be new to you. They pick the freshest produce and also keep your eggs safe too. Follow the link in the show notes that lets Instacart know that I sent you. That will not only help the show, but it will also, in this case, give you free delivery on your first order over $35. Instacart. Never go out to go grocery shopping again. All right, let's put our hands together for being able to order some groceries, have them delivered to the house so the air won't kill you. I just want to say that. If you do have a reason to have food delivered, guys, go to the link in the show notes. Go to the link in the description box if you're interested in Instacart and having food delivered to the house. Or if you know someone elderly or whatever and you want to have food sent to them, might be an option for you. All right, guys, that's all I got right now. I will probably jump on here again tomorrow as I follow this along. I don't know if it'll be a podcast. It might just be me jumping on and talking all this stuff. If anybody else is following up on this, please hit me up on freaking on my Facebook, or shoot me an email, to freaking Riddick Bop, Riddick BOP at gmail.com. yeah, so we can talk about it and coordinate it and all that other stuff. All right, guys. Anyway, love you like cook food. If you have any issues or any problems, just think them through, work your way through it, because it obviously ain't going to be that bad if you solve it. That's all I can tell you. Thanks, guys, for listening. Love you like cook food. I will see you when I see you, and I will try to explain this as best I can as I see what's going on starting tomorrow. All right, guys, I'm out of here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Like I said, I love you like cook food. Wear your mask. If you hear somebody sneeze, run like a motherfucker. I'll see you when I see you.